Justice League of America number 10, written by Matt Kint, art by Tom Derenick and Eddie Barrows. So, last issue, we had Martian Manhunter in the head of Stargirl escaping the prison that the rest of the Justice League is held in, and then Stargirl runs into Deathstroke and his merry men. It's a lot. Anyway, this issue is basically two completely separate plots, which makes it a bitch to try to recap. But I'm just going to give you the two plots completely separately and just know that they are interspersed constantly with each other. So the first plot is the flashbacks where we see Stargirl's essentially origin. Last issue we saw that she found her stepdad's box out in the garage that had the star rod in it and the costume. And at this point, she is sitting in bed and she sees this vision of Martian Manhunter saying, "Courtney, you need to focus." And that's a running theme throughout these flashbacks, is that these are her memories that she's having mid-fight with Deathstroke and crew. And Martian Manhunter being in her head is trying to snap her out of it and get her to focus. But just know that that's happening throughout. So we see her talking to her friend Tuan after the video hit online, and he's just like, "Look, it's great and all, but you need a better costume. That was like loose fitting and awful for you." So they go to a costume shop and they manage to make a new Stargirl outfit, and they upload a new video online, and yeah, it's got like 10 million hits. She's hyper popular. But because of that, her stepdad Pat finds out, and Pat basically says, "You need to stop this. You need to not do that anymore." And Courtney immediately snaps back like, "You're not my real dad. You just married my mom. You suck." So at that point, Pat says, "Look, all right, the power rod, it's too much for you to control, but if you're not going to listen to me, I've talked to your mom. I'm going to teach you how to use it, but we're going to take this super slow to make sure that you know what's going on before you go out there." And he's just like, "Okay, why?" And he explains, the person who originally used that, who wore that costume originally, died wearing it. It is not something to mess with." So at that point, we see him basically trying to give her lessons slowly, trying to teach her very briefly how to use it. And she's just like, "I can't take it. I just got to get out there again. It's intoxicating. I really got to do it." And we see her flying around and she's trying to sneak around, not being caught using it. But the news catches her flying around downtown and her parents see it. And she's like, "Oh, I can explain." And that's how she actually gets donned the name Stargirl, is the news gives it to her. So Pat takes her out to the garage, just being like, "Okay, if you're not going to listen to me, then I will speed up your training. I will tell you what you need to know. But like, you need to understand this. It is deadly. It is not something to mess around with." And he starts giving her just the full rope, saying like, the best place to grab it is in these two spots. If you twist this knob, it'll fire more energy off. And Courtney realizes, she's been hard on him. And she's just like, "Hey, Pat, I'm sorry. I know I haven't been the greatest to you." And he's like, "Look, I get it. I've been distant from you. I've been trying to hide this thing, and I understand I'm moving in on your life. I get it. I just want you to be careful. I wouldn't want anything to happen to you." And we see that he is still training her the entire time, but she is resistant to it. She's not like taking him seriously when he says how dangerous it is, until finally one night on the news, some terrorist has taken a hostage and basically says, "I'm not going to let her go until Super comes here to try to stop me." And Courtney realizes this is it. She needs to go out there. She needs to do it. And her parents just say like, "No, it's a trap. You're not ready for this. It's too much." And she's just like, "If I don't go, that guy's going to get hurt. I have to at least try." And we see she also has a younger brother that was not brought up before. So the younger brother's like, "Oh, what's going on? Why is everyone yelling?" And Courtney goes to walk out the door, and her parents basically say like, "Courtney, you're not ready. Don't do it. Don't leave." And I'll pause on that plot for a minute, just to go back to the other plot that's going on with the Deathstroke stuff. So she's in the middle of a fight between Deathstroke, Blockbuster, Copperhead, and Shadow Thief. And Martian Manhunter is in her head trying to give her information, just being like, "Oh, you can take these guys on in a fight, but probably not these guys. And that one's skill is to do this." And she's just like, "Oh my God, you being in my head is giving me such a migraine. Like, it's physically painful for you to be in my head right now. Get out." And he's just like, "Oh, okay, look, I'll tried my best to shut up, but like, you have my powers, you can use them." And he tries to guide her into using his powers to escape the fight. And she's just like, "No, I'm going to keep on fighting." So, also Giganta's there. I completely forgot about that. So using Martian Manhunter's abilities, she does manage to put up a fight against this group, and she uses some super strength to take down Giganta and Blockbuster. She uses phasing to get out of Copperhead's tail, and she uses some level of like frequency vibration or something to take out Shadow Thief's shadow suit. And the entire time, Martian Manhunter's like telling her what to do, and he's just like, shut up, shut up, shut up, I don't want to hear it. Until finally Deathstroke shows up, and Deathstroke is just too much. And Martian Manhunter says, like, yeah, we can't deal with him. We better just fly away. So Courtney flies out, flies over DC, sees that everything's just on fire, and she's worried about her family. She's worried about what's happening to them. And Martian Manhunter says, like, okay, well, we need to go find the Justice League. Like, they're nearby. We can do it. And she's like, no, I'm going to go find my family. That's more important to me. If you want to get out of my head and go search for them yourself, be my guest. And he's like, fine, but I need you to like sit down so I can meditate if I'm going to do that. So we get that last thing with like the terrorists and all that. And at that point, because her parents are ordering her what to do and saying, don't go out there. And also Manhunter saying, oh, we have to go find the Justice League. We have to do this. It's important. Stargirl just snaps inside of the memory, grabs Martian Manhunter, throws him through a wall, and just being like, I am so sick of being told what to do and how to do it. I am my own person, and I'm going to do things right. And, like, you guys just make it up as much as I do. Like, you don't know anything more than me when it comes to this sort of stuff, so why don't you just leave me alone? And we see at that, because of her little temper tantrum, Martian Manhunter has separated out of her body, but he is weak. He is barely able to stand on his own. And Stargirl says, look, you can look for the Justice League. I'm going to protect my family. So she flies off, and we're left with Martian Manhunter, who can feel the power of the Justice League nearby, and through whatever sort of psychic means, finds out the prison is Firestorm, and he is on a countdown timer to exploding and killing them all. So, yeah, big reveal there. However, here's the thing, and it's possibly an editorial problem with this event, is that I remember this has been revealed elsewhere. I can't remember where. I can't remember which issue, but there was definitely another issue where they explicitly said, like, they are imprisoned in Firestorm and he is going to explode. And I understand the idea that, okay, well, some people may not have read that issue, and therefore we need to reestablish it here in case they were reading this issue. And I get that. But you made that reveal, and I can't overstate this. The reveal is the entire buildup from the last 3 issues, is that they are inside of Firestorm. So I feel like it's an editorial thing that if it's revealed elsewhere first, then it shouldn't be such a mind-blowing thing here that that's what you were building to this entire time. It feels like a bit of a letdown, you know? I don't know. It's an editorial thing. It probably should have just been structured better. You could still have the reveal in the other book to keep people up to date no matter what they're reading, but put it after this. Put it after this reveal is made, so that way this book is allowed to be its own thing and have its shock reveal, and then the other one can just drop it as that little like, oh yeah, and this is going on, by the way. For people reading Justice League of America, it's not a big shock, but for everyone else, it's the reveal they needed. Anyway, yeah, beyond all that, it's an okay book. I do like the dueling narratives. I think it comes together in a good way of showing Stargirl wanting to do her own thing, be her own person. It's just really hard to recap in that way because it is these dueling narratives back and forth. All in all, I'd say it's probably, I'll give it a 7. And I would give it higher if it were a bit more, I don't want to say focused, but like the fight between Deathstroke and the rest of the villains just felt so unnecessary because it never felt like there was any tension there. However, on the other side of things, I also would give it lower because of that, you know? Like it's I don't know, it's a strange little dividing it where I think that a 7's just kind of exactly where it needs to be. But beyond that, we'll see what comes up next issue. I'm sure that we're going to continue on with the Stargirl plot as well as the Martian Manhunter one.